And welcome back, YouTube. It is still Sunday, October 2nd. It is hot as hell in my car right now. Still no air conditioning in the car. That's definitely been a recurring theme pretty much all of this summer. And yeah, it's October, but in Phoenix it's still pretty much feeling like summer. Well, maybe not like summer in Phoenix, but summer everywhere else. Still hot as hell in my car. So 9:32 on my clock, so I add 3 minutes, so it's 9:35 a.m. Being awfully productive for being up this morning. Of course, the shitty thing about me being up this morning is that I'm probably not going to get any more sleep before I go to work tonight, which means that by the time I get off work at 5:30 a.m., I will have been up like over 20 hours. And I'll be ridiculously tired for trying to be working in a warehouse, but that's what I get that 85 cents an hour differential for. So that actually did feel good. There were a lot of things that were clarified, and I've mentioned in a handful of videos. If you're keeping track of this stuff, it's amazing, because God knows I'm not. I did Thursday morning, late Friday night, Thursday morning, I want to say probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, we had a presentation in our warehouse at GYR3 amongst all the employees that were taking like groups of about 50 employees at a time. I went in with everybody from not inbound fluid. Inbound fluid was done as one group, and then inbound docks and PID lines were done as a second group after them. And of course, like I saw them doing the presentation when they were doing it for inbound fluid, and I do occasionally work in inbound fluid. I mean, I avoid that position like the plague because I hate it, but every now and then I will go over and do it. And the managers have to basically beg me. I'm like, you're gonna rescue me within the hour, right? Don't fucking leave me alone in fluid. And I think they know if they put me in fluid, like within an hour, I'll start walking laps of the building like I'm lost. I just can't handle being the one guy in the truck that's working his ass off while everybody's standing around doing nothing, which seems to be how it always goes when I go over to fluid. But anyway, I digress. I was trying to talk about the presentation. But anyway, when I walked up and I noticed, like I noticed it was mostly people from fluid, but a lot of times, like when they're having those stand-ups, they'll have fluid and inbound docks together in one group. And I just kind of walked over and was kind of looking over the crowd to see, hey, is this what's going on? So I was a little late coming back from lunch. Usually always am. A little late to leave, a little late back. You know, I spend less time in line at the machine trying to check out with my food. Not a fan of the consolidated, everybody take their break at the same time thing that's going on now. Oh, I just cut that guy off. He doesn't have a stop sign. Whoopsie. Anyway, so yeah, I saw that group going on, and it was en route to me heading back to the to the inbound control desk and well, seeing the situation in the parking lot makes me think that Costco isn't open yet. Yay, shaded parking. Anyway, hey look, there's one of their forklift drivers working. Moving pallets. That's a job I need to be applying for, like probably today. First time I've come out here and seen them moving them around. It's so wild seeing them out in the parking lot. Like I never go outside the building in GYR3 on my forklift when I'm not suspended from forklift driving. Yeah, those forklifts are completely identical in size and operation to the ones that I use at Amazon. Make sure my car is locked before I walk away from it. kind of cool to see those guys actually up and running. It's my understanding that the forklift drivers here only work in the middle of the night, like when the store is physically closed. When the store is physically closed, because I got a feeling they're working all over the store, driving around the store, and obviously you don't want to be operating a store with customers. It's one thing to be around other people in a warehouse, although Amazon still seems to think that's unacceptable. But from what I understand, in most warehouses, the forklift operators will be, working right alongside people, and people that work at that warehouse are expected to be smart enough to look out for forklifts. But Amazon tends to not hire the brightest and the best, nor reward the brightest and the best for being the brightest and the best, which doesn't retain the brightest and the best, which makes me think I should be looking for better employment where I'm rewarded a little bit more and treated a little bit better for the skills that I have. But neat to see these guys actually out here working. At some point I want to pause this and kind of ask them what it's like over here. Hopefully now is probably a really good time to ask them. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna walk over there and ask those guys what it's like running as a pit, what's like being a pit driver for Costco, because I want to know. Well, that was an awkward moment. I just approached the 3 pit drivers. They were walking in. They're parking their forklifts and walking into the building, and I said that I drove forklifts exactly like this for Amazon. Hey, what's it like doing it here? And not the most positive reaction. The 2 guys just looked at me funny and walked off and ignored me. And the tall white guy in the overalls, which leads me to believe that he's getting ready to work in some cold storage, because why the hell would you be dressed like that as hot as it is right now? And for those who haven't heard, I absolutely hate working in cold storage. Yeah, can't hang with it. I don't care how well dressed I am for it. I just don't like being in cold storage. I live in Arizona for a reason, and it's largely the climate. I like it hot. Thank you very much. Anyway, I asked him what it was like, and he goes, oh, I forget exactly what his word. He gave me a 2-word answer, and it wasn't positive. Something like it sucks and it's stressful, or something like that. I know stressful was one of those words, so that's not what I wanted to hear. I was hoping he'd give me a little more insight of actually what it was like here, but like maybe what the pay was like and what it took to get into that position and that sort of thing. But all I got was sucks and it's stressful. So yeah, well, it's like these guys are actually cleaning up the area. That's nice. That's not what I usually see going on right there. It looks like somebody was camping out on the fire exit. Please keep clear. Yeah, apparently the guy who decided to sleep there in that pile of blankets didn't read the sign or didn't care. I'm still going to apply. See what's, just see where that leads me. But yeah, that guy didn't seem too enthused about it. Really hoping to get some more insight from their drivers there. But oh well, could be they were just on a tight schedule of just, maybe they get in trouble if they stand outside and talk to somebody when they're supposed to be coming in from whatever errand they were outside running. Ooh, found a can. Still out kind of collecting cans today. Oh, and there's a bus pass. I always grab those when I see them. September 30th. It's expired. Part of me wants to put that in a trash can, but I just don't put it with the rest of the litter. Plenty of litter here. It's not like it's there by itself. Something I'd really, really like to do is get a card. Well, at some point have a home computer again, because I haven't had one in a long time. A desktop PC set up in my apartment. And I'd like to, wow, look at the line for Costco fuel. I mean, I see it a lot worse, but damn. By the way, gas prices in Phoenix rising, kind of hovering around the $5 mark. A few places charging a little more than $5. I think they said on the radio a couple days ago that the average in the valley right now is $4.90, but The last I saw, the QT on the corner there was charging $4.99. So yeah, it got awfully close to. It got into like $3 and change there for a while, but it's steadily rising here, quite a bit again. Kind of random to see the homeless people actually kind of cleaning up their little area there by that, where they like to hang out by that what you call it, that irrigation fixture, that cement structure there. It's got access to the irrigation under it and the canals. There's, for those who don't know, there's a lot of canals in this part of town that are underneath the ground, but still here. And for those who don't know, the canal system that's here actually dates back probably over 1,000 years to when this was Native American farmland. And that's how the natives used that's how the natives got water through the area and made this desert inhabitable. And kind of interesting how, as this area was settled, by white people, how they just kind of maintained those canals and built a city with water infrastructure based on those canals. And I gotta admit that the guy right there with the black guy with the man bun, he's likely homeless. I'm mad props to him for actually walking around and picking up the trash in the park. I think if more people were doing that, the homeless population around here would be a whole lot less despised. But it's really cool to see somebody doing it. That's something I've actually considered doing. Oh, speaking of picking up the trash, I do think I want to pick that one up before someone like myself cuts their foot on it. Damn. I don't know if the top of that dumpster is open or not. This one is, though. Yeah, I definitely want to get the razor blade up off the sidewalk. That's something I could easily slash my toes while walking in flip-flops on. Gotta make sure I change shoes before I go into Amazon tonight. I don't want to repeat that mistake. Anyway, before I get distracted by, ooh, look, forklift drivers, and oh wow, surprise, there's actually a homeless guy cleaning up the, hey, this is a change. Well, I just noticed that they painted over the parking spots here, and then this pedestrian route that they added, this was added fairly recently, by the way, that sidewalk that I just walked down, and then this painted area where you can walk on. This painted stuff wasn't here. The last time I walked on the sidewalk, it just kind of unceremoniously ended right there, and you had to walk in front of these parking spots. But they've painted the parking spots black. They've actually made some proper painted, pedestrian walkway. I mean, granted, it's a pretty long walk from the sidewalk. And then they've added these poles to stop cars from driving over where the pedestrians would walk. They have signs that say tire center parking only. So that's kind of a nice improvement. A marginal bit of something to make things better for those who walk. Anyway, what I was trying to get out, and I just need to sit down and spit it out because it's not going to happen if I keep walking and getting distracted by the world in front of me, is what happened to Saturday? Why did I have no videos on Saturday? What happened to my Saturday night live stream? My depression hit really bad. I just wasn't having as much fun as I typically have at Oz Karaoke. There was a lot of singers, which meant I didn't get to sing much. And I mean, that's the mark of a successful karaoke show. And generally I flow with that. And for me, how much I enjoy that depends on if I'm hanging out with people, I'm having a good time. I don't mind waiting an extended period of time to sing. But if I'm kind of mostly sitting by myself and feeling like an outcast, which I, for the most part, was on Friday night, yeah, and wondering why Jazzy isn't returning my message that I sent her on Snapchat, and most likely she's not using Snapchat. Sometimes people use Snapchat, they just stop using it, or they install it, or they they disabled their pop-up notifications or whatever. I know I have her phone number, but damned if I could find it in my phone. And she gave me a big hug on Friday and asked me to call her, and seemed pretty legitimately interested in hanging out with me Friday night, maybe hanging out with me on Saturday and Sunday and helping me with trying to clean my apartment up. But she's like, well, text me. And I couldn't find her number, so the only way I had to really send her a message was Snapchat, and apparently she's not really on Snapchat anymore. So I guess I need to dig deeper in my phone for her number. But yeah, I was kind of frustrated about that. And I was kind of frustrated that Ronnie, who's a very attractive woman that I work with at Amazon, she's black, which women I'm flirting with usually tend to be black. It's funny how that works. Anyway, although for whatever reason, it seems to be black women who flirt back with me. White women don't seem to flirt with me at all. So, as the old saying goes, get in where you fit in. And at this point, that's kind of where I feel like I fit in. Anyway, she looks really young. Ronnie does. I like to look at her. She looks 30-ish, maybe late 20s. And come to find out, she's actually 44, I think. 44 or 45, which surprised the shit out of me when she told me that. She's like really, really thin and fit and gorgeous. Anyway, she's always been like super flirty, like more flirty with me than I've been with her. And the other night, like I was working on this project where there were a bunch of boxes in the area where the damaged goods go on the PID lines, where the box was damaged but the product was not damaged. And when you're working as a line loader and you get a box like that, you're supposed to kind of look at the box and evaluate, if you have to open the flaps of the box to see the product inside, check it out and decide and evaluate, hey, is the product damaged? Is the product or the product's packaging damaged? That's important as well. But if everything inside the box is undamaged, even if the carton, the case box that it's in, that we're loading, is damaged, what you're supposed to do, what line loaders are supposed to do, is tape it up, repair the damage to the outside box, not make it perfect, but make it good enough that it's going to go down the automated conveyor lines and get sorted where it needs to go, and treat it as a case, even if it's a slightly misshapen case or a case with a lot of extra packing tape on it. And also make sure that it's got the barcodes needed on it for it to be automatically scanned and sent to its destination, because a lot of times those will get damaged. But a lot of line loaders don't want to take that extra effort. I don't know why. Take the time, take the effort. You're paid by the hour. Anyway, especially a lot of new people or just older people that've been there for a while lazy, they'll just throw those boxes on the pallets. It's not really pallets. I don't even know what you call them. There's these platforms where they put the damaged goods. And there was nobody working damaged goods, and apparently hadn't been for like 3 shifts. So those areas were just piled. And I was kind of on a special project trying to fix those. I don't like using tape dispensers. For some reason, me and tape dispensers don't get along. I do better with just a roll of packing tape, and I will cut it with what's left of my teeth. But by doing that, I end up having to raise the roll of tape like right up by my hair, and having my hair out, the packing tape kept getting caught in my hair. It was driving me nuts. So after a couple of hours of this, I walked over to Learning to see if they had some hair ties, because they usually do. Amazon does have a safety policy that hair needs to be higher than your shoulders, which makes complete sense when you're working around conveyor belts and other equipment that can grab your hair and pull it in, and that can be potentially very dangerous. I don't see that rule being enforced as much as I feel like it should be. My hair at this point is just a little bit above shoulder length, so I was definitely within, compliance for what the hair rule is. And if I was doing any other job, it wouldn't have even been bothering me. But I kept trying to tear the packing tape by my mouth, and my hair kept getting caught, and it was driving me nuts. So I went and got some hair ties, and I don't know, maybe about an hour or so after I had my hair tied up, I walked by the PID line where Ronnie is throwing, and she's just suddenly all aglow. She's like, "Oh my God, I didn't recognize you. You look so different with your hair up. God, you look really hot with your hair up." And it was like, yeah, I don't get a lot of attention from women like that. So that felt, especially women that I find attractive, so that felt really good. Really good. Anyway, we just kind of started talking about, about maybe her and I going out, or her coming to my show on Thursdays, or doing lunch, blah, 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 whatever. And as I mentioned in a couple other videos, I ended up hanging out quite a bit with her while she was waiting for her Uber in front of the warehouse. And yeah, she's like, well, hit me up, we can go do lunch or whatever. Well, I texted her as I was right as I got to Bullocks on Thursday, just saying, hey, I'm at my show, I'm setting up. I expected just a text back. Maybe asking if I could come pick her up because she doesn't drive. Obviously, at that point, the answer would have been no because I didn't have the time to, but it would have been an opportunity to just, get some connection with her and remind her, it's like, hey, you can always hit me up. You can always hit me up earlier, or we can make plans after we get off work Thursday and I'll come pick you up. I need to know sooner than now. That's kind of what my goal was, to at least have a little connection, and maybe send her a link to the live stream, since I did live stream it. Although anyway, but yeah, no answer from her at all. Kind of felt like I was getting ghosted, because I know that's her number. Like, she gave me the number, and then I called her, and her phone rang right next to me Thursday morning after work, and then she saved my number. So I know it's not the wrong number. I know she didn't give me a bullshit number just to try to shine me on. And why do women even make that effort? I don't know, but I know a lot do. Dear women talking about how they did that. But I'm not the guy who's persistently asking people for their number, and she went out of her way to give me her number. I never asked for it. Anyway, I sent her a text on Friday as well, as I was headed to the bar, just asking if she still wanted to do lunch, and didn't respond either. And at that point, I didn't know really what to think about that. So that was adding to my depression on Friday night. Like, I was frustrated that I couldn't find Jazzy's number and that she didn't text me. I was frustrated that I hadn't heard from Priscilla all day. And I was frustrated that I felt like after Ronnie had gone out of her way to give me her number, that she was ghosting me. And yeah, how many different women do I need to be chasing after at once, right? Well, 3 seems to be a good number. But wait, isn't Priscilla your girlfriend? Hey, she hasn't really been doing the things I expect a girlfriend to do that makes me continue to call her a girlfriend. So, I don't know, sort of. She's the so-called girlfriend. Yeah, I'm certainly not looking to be... I can't be monogamous to somebody that is not fulfilling that need. I can't think of any other way to put that. Anyway, so I was pretty frustrated. And granted, I'm probably not going to meet a woman at a gay bar. It just is what it is, But I wasn't. Usually, I have a good time with the karaoke there, and I really wasn't. And from there, I went to. I don't think I vlogged after I left there. I just wasn't feeling. I was just feeling so negative. I didn't want to talk. Didn't want to record. So I went to. Oh man, I forget the name of it. The Hideaway Lounge, the place where the cook was recently killed by being a pedestrian and trying to cross the street on a bicycle. Yeah, went there, saw a very heavy woman running the karaoke, but then as I was kind of on my way out, the KJ that's usually there came up and was like super friendly and said hi to me. I almost felt bad like leaving after he came up and said hi to me like that, but the bar was pretty busy, but I didn't really see any single women that I felt I could really kind of maybe hang out with. I didn't see that. I saw Appa and his wife, and I probably should have gone over and said hi to him. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, as has his wife, but I was in such a bad mood. I didn't really want to spread that toxicity and negativity in their direction. Just kind of seeing him out with his wife, who is an absolute wonderful woman, and me being out alone and feeling very alone. Yeah, it just didn't feel like it would put me in a better frame of mind, hanging out with him, which normally hanging out with him does. And yeah, what I gathered mostly out of that is that he doesn't have a show on Saturday night or on Friday night either. So that means he's probably out looking for a Friday night show, even though I know he knows as well as I do that there's no chance of him or I getting the
getting the Hideaway Lounge. But anyway, I logged in. They have an app that they use. I forget the name of it. They have an app they use for the singer queue, and I logged into it. It saw that the wait to sing was well over an hour of singers, and I just didn't think I would enjoy just hanging out there for an hour without being able to sing. And I just went back out to my car, went to the Wander Inn. Priscilla was there. As I said, I hadn't really heard from her all day Friday. There's been absolutely no contact with her. I can't say no contact with her, but there's been no bedroom fun with her like all freaking week. So yeah, so not really happy to see Priscilla either. I mean, I guess I should be more happy, and maybe I should have like been more acting like I wanted that. But at this point, I feel like I've been not getting that, to the point where just seeing her was kind of frustrating to me. And the thing that kind of caught my eye as I went into the Wander Inn is I didn't see her vehicle. So I kind of thought when I drove in the parking lot and didn't see her vehicle, it's like, well, at least I can enjoy the Wander Inn without the extra added stress of Priscilla being there. But then she kind of added to that stress. At that point, my phone batteries were low, and I just wanted to sit where I could charge them and keep an eye on them, which of course is not where she was sitting, and she never bothered to move from where she was sitting to sitting by me. And about half the time she was outside smoking, which, you know, her smoking is not, it's kind of a deal breaker for me. It really is. I don't want to date a smoker. I'm all down for an FWB that likes a lot of D that's a smoker, but I can't, I feel like I can't have a relationship that goes beyond that with a smoker, with a cigarette smoker. On that note, Ronnie's a cigarette smoker, so like we would probably spend our breaks together, but she's got to go out and smoke, and I'm not trying to be around smoke, so there's that. So anyway, I feel like Jazzy's a smoker as well too, but yeah, she's definitely a smoker. Anyway, God, why can't I meet a woman I find attractive that doesn't smoke? Why can't I seem to make that happen? Anyway, I did hang out and sing karaoke until they called last call, but I ended up just leaving. I didn't leave with Priscilla. She didn't mention going home with me. She didn't mention me going home with her. And really, I didn't talk to her too much the whole time I was there. I was in a really bad frame of mind. I just basically nursed one beer, sang two Counting Crows songs to get them out of my system. Was absolutely bewildered when another guy sang one of the Counting Crows songs that was on my list. I didn't get to sing Anna Begins. It doesn't surprise me. Karaoke version just put out a track for Anna Begins. I don't think it's ever existed in karaoke before, and that was just released this week. So I didn't really expect that Kimmy would already have it, but I wrote it down anyway in hopes that maybe she keeps a list like I do of songs that singers ask for that she doesn't have to get, because I know she buys on karaoke version, and she could go get it and have it ready at her next show. I still don't understand why, you know, they've got Wi-Fi there. I don't understand why she doesn't buy on the fly the way I do, but she doesn't. Anyway, so yeah, that was my Saturday night. I ended up driving home from there, and I think I just went straight home. I don't think I went anywhere to get food or anything. At that point, I was just kind of depressed, and I wanted to be home. I did leave the deadbolt open, so if Priscilla wanted to wander in, she could, even if I didn't respond to a text. And I'm pretty sure I was tired and frustrated, so I'm pretty sure I fell asleep as quick as my head hit the pillow. And I just could not get out of that funk. And then, you know, had a migraine headache on top of it, and that was pretty much my whole Saturday. I just laid in bed, frustrated and depressed. Priscilla did text me. I did have another friend text me, but it just seemed like I never heard their text come in. Like I would text them, and they would actually both text me back in a pretty reasonable time frame. But by the time they texted back, I didn't hear the phone. I don't know if they were muted or whatever, but you know, didn't hear the message, didn't see the message, so I didn't respond to whatever messages they gave me until hours later. To be fair, Priscilla did try to call me, but as per usual, I didn't hear the ringer. I did get a call, however, on Saturday afternoon, from October 1st afternoon, from Ronnie, and we ended up talking for 2 hours. I didn't have the heart to tell her that I don't really like talking on the phone that long, and it was actually kind of great to talk to her. And I kind of got the feeling that's somebody she wants, somebody to talk to on the phone a lot, and if that's what she's wanting in a relationship, then she's going to be pretty disappointed with me, because and that's one of those other things that kind of makes me think that maybe probably on the autism spectrum, because for me, trying to hold a conversation on a phone is a very mentally taxing thing. And we were on the phone for nearly 2 hours, and that took everything out of me. As soon as I got off by the second half of that conversation, it was everything I could to stay conscious while I was on the phone with her. And after I got up, I just rolled over and passed out, and I didn't wake up until damn near midnight. But it was a good conversation. Again, she kind of told me what she's looking for in a relationship and made it very clear she finds me very attractive, but that things that she's gone through and things she's dealing with in her life. She's kind of surprised to find out she's a grandmother. It's like, wow, I've hit that age where I'm dating grandmothers that are younger than me. Ain't that some shit? Which, whatever. It is what it is. And she's got an 18-year-old daughter that has a 1-year-old baby. That's not such an unusual thing, for a woman in her mid-40s. Anyway, we had a good conversation. Talked a lot of shop about shit going on Amazon. It's kind of nice to talk to somebody that can actually relate to that, because that is a pretty big part of my life these days. And I didn't come to find out, her just being in the workforce is a new thing from her, and she kind of explained that to me, and it was a different perspective that I never thought of, so that was kind of an eye-opening thing. But it was a good conversation. It just took a lot out of me. But yeah, she was telling me what she wants in a relationship, and I didn't really know how do I say, what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking for an FWB that wants a lot of D. How do you say that without coming off like a male chauvinistic asshole? Well, kind of you don't. But, oh well, I don't know. Maybe we'll broach that subject at some point. maybe she is looking for that, but just as a woman doesn't want to say that, because of course that isn't, that's what I want to hear. It's not what, women who say those things kind of come off looking not good. So it just kind of is what it is. All right, there's my content match from CCR, which is extra sad because I know that none of the members of CCR get any royalties for that. That's been an ongoing thing for, Jesus Christ, probably nearly 50 years now. Yeah, John Fogerty and the rest of the band got really hosed on their record contract. Anyway, I found a can and a bottle. I need to go put that in my car, and it just occurred to me that I've been jacking my jaws for 26 minutes while some of my groceries, which should be refrigerated, are getting probably hot as fuck in my car. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, Costco definitely open now. If it wasn't open when I got here before, it's definitely open now, which I think the amount of cars in the parking lot reflects that. It was nothing like that. So I probably got here a little bit before it opened, but definitely open now. So I'm going to go in, get myself a couple of things here. Mostly just stock up on beverages, because I haven't really been drinking in the last day while I was at home, just because it was the only beverages that I have in my fridge are alcoholic beverages, and didn't feel like drinking alcoholic beverages. Didn't feel energetic enough to drive anywhere and get anything, and like I said, just pretty much spent all of Saturday in bed depressed. I mean, the highlight of my day was definitely spending a couple hours on the phone with Ryan. But even that was a bit taxing for me. I kind of wish that would have ended at about 30 minutes. But couldn't think of a polite way to make that happen. But it was nice learning more about her, and at least bouncing some thoughts about the current situation at Amazon in general, and YR3 specifically. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. If you actually listened, I appreciate the support. I have wasted way too much time talking to myself on the internet. Certainly, it made up for no videos on Saturday. I need to get some beverages here and head my ass home. Try to be productive, and maybe try to get a nap before I go to work tonight.